Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike Grimm with Wikia Gaming here again, and we're doing another Warframe tutorial video. This time we're going to take a look at one of the more, I guess, confusing aspects of the game, but this is how to apply mods to your frame and weapons. So first we're going to go into the arsenal here, and as you can see, they just sort of recently redesigned how you handle your mods here. Sort of as a new menu. It's a little more streamlined than it was before, so it should be a little easier to understand, but to the left here, you'll see that we have our frame and our weapons available. We're going to click on our primary weapon, the Latron Prime Rank 9. And if you look up to the left here, you'll see the weapon name, the mod capacity, which is 18, and we have an Orokin catalyst equipped to it, which increases the overall mod capacity. What the mod capacity does is it determines how many mods you can install on that weapon. Each individual mod is going to add some sort of bonus to your weapon. Additional armor penetration, ammo rounds, raw damage, all kinds of stuff. You'll notice here that when we remove all the mods, this bar up here shows us we have 18 points available out of a total of 18. Down here we have the mods that are available for this weapon. Not all the mods work with every weapon. Some will be specific to primary or secondary or melee weapons or shotguns or whatever weapon you have equipped. So this mod right here, you'll see is a point strike. We're going to drag it up here just to see what happens. So we drag it up there, and you see that we have 13 mod points left now. That's because this point strike mod costs 5 points. You can see that in the top right hand of the card, and that'll indicate how much any given mod costs on a weapon. You'll also notice the symbol to the right of the 5, which is sort of looks like a check mark. Now what this is part of the polarity system. If you look over here, we'll see that this empty slot also has that check mark. If we take the point strike card that has that matching symbol and put it on that checkpoint, it will have the cost of that card rounding up. So in this case, it'll round 2.5 up to 3. You'll notice that now it's a lot cheaper to do it this way. This is heavily encouraged, and the polarity slots sort of depend on which weapon you're using, so these aren't universal. But whenever you see these slots, it's pretty essential you use them because it'll save you a huge amount of mod capacity points, which will allow you to put more mods in your weapon, making them a lot more effective. You'll see here we're doing the same thing with magazine warp. It costs 6 points, but when we drag it over to the matching polarity slot, it only costs 3. You'll see that we have 3 points and 3 points, so 6 minus the 18 mod capacity will give us 12 leftover points. Generally, you want to grab the most expensive mods you can and dump them in here so you can maximize your point savings. So with the remaining 12 mods, we can drag some additional mods on here. Speed trigger, piercing hit. The cards you have depend on what you've picked up during the course of the game, so these won't always be the same, but you can toggle between the different mods you have down here. Note that you can never add 2 of the same mod to a weapon. We already have point strike on here, so if we try and drag another one on, it won't go. No dice. So yeah, seeing as we only have 3 mod capacity points left, we'll have to find a mod that we don't have already equipped and add it there as well. This is the same essentially for your frame as well, though we'll get into that a little bit later. So the melee weapon works the same way as the primary weapon. You'll notice the mod capacity for that one's a little lower because the rank is lower. And here we go for the frame mods. You'll notice that it's the same general layout as the weapon mods, and the polarity rules totally apply here as well. We have a 14 mod capacity with another Orokin catalyst equipped. As you rank up weapons and frames, you'll get more mod capacity points, allowing you to equip more mods on them naturally. The difference between the weapons and the frames, though, is generally that ability cards are frame specific, while mod cards are just sort of general for any frame. We have these cards here, Energy Vampire, Blessing, and Well of Life. These are all cards specific to the Trinity frame, which is the frame we're using. These cards allow us to use that frame's abilities. Without these cards, you can't actually use them. Cards like Fast Detection or Vitality, though, those are all basically just general mod cards. It'll give you more health, more raw damage, more ammo, that sort of thing. But the ability cards are what allow you to use those frame's abilities. If you don't have those, you can't use that frame's abilities, even if it says you have those abilities. Unless those cards are equipped, you can't use them. So initially with the low level frame, you'll only be able to use one or two abilities before you just run out of mod points. So that's why ranking up the frames is very important. You'll also note that ability cards that are not specific to your frame will not be available for you in this menu. Even if you have them, they won't pop up here if it's incompatible to use with that frame. Alright guys, that should be it for modding your weapons and your frames. We'll be back later with a short video about using the Foundry to create new weapons and new frames for you to use. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.